Good afternoon and welcome to Inspire Elsie's Radio. Today we're honored to have Florence with us to talk about a powerful and vital initiative born in the heart of Bishop Lavis. It's a project that is just not a program but a movement, Woman2woman. Their aim is to inspire, motivate and empower women and young girls from all walks of life. We want them to know their worth and become positive role models in the society of today. Today we are talking about gender-based violence with Women's Day on Saturday. We must tell our story and understand our experience as a collective society. Very good afternoon to you too. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, Jennie, for this opportunity. I am Florence Campbell, the director of Woman2woman, and what a privilege to be here during Women's Month, because it's such a historic month in the history of our country, where we remember in 1956, 20,000 women marched to the Union Building in Pretoria against the then oppressive past laws. And what is so powerful for me is that women taught us something powerful happens when we unite. So for me, that is why we started this organization. Just to give you a brief of the reason why we started the organization, a very close friend of mine came to me many years ago and said, Florence, I'm going to kill my partner before he kills me. At that stage, I felt powerless. And I just said to her, don't kill him because you've got 2 small children. Little did I know he's going to kill, and he did. For a very long time, I felt I could have done something, but I didn't know what to do. I had to train myself and go for training to become a trained counselor in order to understand what women are really going through. But what I've learned through that process is the name Woman2woman, because it came from one woman to another woman. And we made a vow. 4 women came together, so women-led organization. 4 women came together and said, never again will we be silent. We will give women the opportunity to break the silence, empower them to become productive members in society. And this year we are celebrating 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Of visiting 80 communities and empowering women, those women that were silent, to tell them, you've got a voice. Your voice has power. And we've seen women breaking the silence and becoming productive members in society. Not only breaking the silence, but taking them through the process, understanding that you have value, man, and you have worth, because so many women have been broken down so in life.
I agree with you.
They just need someone to tell them, you've got value, you've got worth, there's something inside of you. So it's an exciting journey for us, and what we did was we started, we've got 2 pillars, which was very important pillars for us, which is the She Matters, which is created for victims and survivors of gender-based violence. So in that group, we empower them, equip them, firstly on the inside, and then empower them, because many of them find they stay in that relationship because financial constraints. So we want them to understand. So we have a program called What Do You Have in Your Hand? Because what you have in your hand has the ability to create wealth for you. So some of them are businesswomen today. Some of them are businesswomen because of that. Understanding they have something within their hand. And I use the example of the Oma Rusk. That lady just took what she had in her hand, and we all eat Oma Rusk today. That was a simple thing that she took in her hand, and she actually made money out of that. And then we have, for me, I think one of the important factors is we place one of the ladies in a place of safety because she needed to be in a place of safety. And because of that, the husband came for me with everything. I had to go to the police station to open up a case. I needed to go to the court, but it was all the inefficiencies within the criminal justice system I
It's quite a
experienced.
process.
Yes, I experienced myself. And we decided so many women lose their lives, like my friend, because my friend lost her life going to the police station, went through all those processes. And then when she came to the police station, what she shared with me was, here she comes again. Here she comes again.
Yes.
Yet she lost her life. And we saw the inefficiencies within the criminal justice system, and we decided to create a referral network to look at where the gaps are at and see how we can assist women that comes as victims to get the necessary help that they need.
It is very true what you are telling us today, and the need is great out there.
Definitely.
And we need to listen. The justice system needs to operate better to save more lives
Definitely.
of our women out
Definitely.
there. You already mentioned of the challenges and forms of gender-based violence from woman to woman that you see is more frequently in the Bishop Lavis community.
I think what is more frequent within the not only Bishop Lavis community but in communities
In the
in
broader
general,
areas?
the broader areas, I think is the emotional abuse of women. Many of the women are facing that, but they don't know how to reach out because it becomes normal. It becomes normal. So now it's they have the emotional abuse. Now they're so broken down on the inside. Many of them are suicidal, depression, and they don't know what to do or how to reach out. So we need to look at those factors. So what we do is when they join the She Matters, we look at the basket of needs these women have. So if there is mental health, we are able to refer you there to get the help in that regard. And there they will assist you in terms of depression, because many of the women feel, because of the stigma out there, if you have depression and you take medication, you are crazy.
Yes, I agree with
And
you
we
on
need to
that.
break that stigma within the communities, because some of them need to take their medication. They need to take their medication. So what we do with that is we have had many awareness programs within the community or communities just to bring that awareness, to break that stigma around
Yes.
mental health in our communities, and to see how we can assist that women with what they are facing.
What was the special needs from the women in Bishop Lavis that Woman2woman had adapted to?
I think most of the needs were women have been silenced. They've been silenced. So when they come out, they reach out to us, they've probably gone to the police station. They didn't get the help that they're supposed to get. So what we do now is the ladies that's gone through our training, that's our trauma support workers, they will take that lady by the hand and say, okay, fine, I will go with you. Because we want to create that space where you are not alone. Whatever your pain is my pain.
My pain.
And we help each other through that process. So what we find, a lot of women are scared. They've been let down by the criminal justice system. Also, Jenny, what we find is we visit schools. And one of the alarming things, and that is why we started with the group Save Our Girls. We visited one school, and this girl came to us because we wanted to show them that we are here for you. We wanted to show them that you're not alone.
Yes.
We wanted to show them that your voice has power. And because of that, she reached out and she says, I was a victim of rape. And now I've been failed by the criminal justice system. And because of that, and she actually shared a story with us at one of the events.
Wow.
And what was so powerful for me, when she shared her story, a lot of girls came out and broke their silence. So we find a lot of girls are still suffering in silence.
I agree with you. There's even much older women that also suffering in
Yes,
silence
yes,
today.
yes.
We want to be clear that your safety and comfort are our top priority. Please know that you are in complete control of this conversation. You do not have to answer any questions you are not comfortable with, and you can stop at any time. Good afternoon to you.
Good
again.
afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Washila van Wyk. I'm a GBV survivor, and now currently I'm a trauma support worker, part of Woman2woman.
Congratulations on that. Could you share in your own words a bit about your journey to the listeners out there?
Good afternoon, listeners. I was in an abusive marriage for 10 years. I was in an abusive marriage where I almost lost my life, and was going through a lot emotionally, physically,
Shame.
financially. I was broken down by my husband. He was fighting with me all the time, and my children saw all that. One day, he stabbed me with a knife, and my 5-year-old son was standing there where I lay in a plot of blood, and I had to drag myself out of the yard just to let the people see I need help. And there was a man that came down the road, and he saved me and took me to the hospital. I was in a coma for 13 days. And when I wake up, the first thing I ask, where's my son? Because in that moment when I lay in the pool of blood, the last words that I hear my son ask, Mommy, are you dying? Mommy, don't die. That's the last words I was hearing my son ask me.
I'm so sorry for what you went through.
Thank you.
What was it like for you before you found the support from Woman2woman? And what gave you the strength to ask for help?
I took myself out of this situation afterwards, after I came out of hospital, and was years. Then I had go through support in Stikland. I have Stikland for counseling, go for counseling, and also Tigerberg. But when my daughter go through the program to Woman2woman, the Save Our Girls, that's where I meet Florence. And
Okay.
she invited me one day to a session, and I told my story, and so that's how I came into contact with them.
Can you tell the listeners out there what did the support? I can hear you say the support meant a lot to you
Yes.
because you had you walked a different walk in
Yes,
life.
Yes. The support that I had at Woman2woman changed my life so rapidly. I got there as a broken woman, and now as a trauma support worker. And my journey with them was so impeccable. It changed my life completely.
I'm so glad to hear that. Maybe today, as we are speaking, there are people out there that are listening to your voice and will take the first step to get help for them.
Yes.
Woman2woman, what have you learned about your own strength through this experience? Can you encourage other women? Can you support other women through your experience?
Yes, I can. Because why I say that because I learned a lot. There's a lot of workshops that we go to, and we learn a lot, and it's a very vital information that we get there, how to equip yourself and how to get out of such a abusive relations or marriages. And I know I'm a strong woman. I can stand with the authority that I am a strong woman, and I have a value in myself, and I can tell other women, you are worth it.
I salute you for that. I salute you
Thank
for
you.
that. But yet, out there is still a lot of women out there that is still in the dark, that
Yes.
doesn't knows about these
Yes.
programs
Yes.
that you are sharing with us today, that they can come to Woman for support and
Yes.
for help to have a better future for themselves and their families.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It was
Thank you.
very good to hear your journey.
Thank you.
And may you go from strength to strength to support other victims out there.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. From Inspire Altis Radio, we're back. We're going to have now a talk with a trauma and a survivor. She was a victim. Today she is helping other people. Very welcome to you. Tell me, what is your role? What role are you playing in your group as Woman2woman? What is your role there?
Hi, good day, listeners. My name is Samantha. I was a victim of gender-based violence. Today, I can proudly say I'm a survivor and supportive member in the trauma counseling, working hand in hand with Woman2woman. I think my biggest role I can play is with kids. With kids, because reason why I will say my biggest part is the kids, because it all started with my gender-based violence. It all started when I did go through the gender-based violence, and while I was going through my process, I also saw that how kids can go through a very different stream. And also, while you in a process of being abused, the kids is also going through a big
yes.
stream
I
of
agree.
getting all the hurt and
I
all the
agree.
pain. So my role, the most important I love is the broken woman out there. The broken woman out there. I can say proudly, the time when I was broken, the time I went through all kind of abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse,
Sure.
and I think the biggest part I went through was mentally abused, and I had a stage in my life where I feel that no, I'm not worth it anymore. I can't help anyone anymore. My own mind is feeling messed up. I can't help anyone. I can't even reach out for myself. So while I was in the process of working with Woman2woman, I realized that I can't do it. I can't do it, and I can't. A lot of ladies that's sitting in this space till today, saying, I can't do this. I'm too weak. I can't do this. I'm too weak. I can't stand up. Nobody's gonna understand me. So I feel while I was in the process also working with actually in the time when I going through my healing to woman, and I starting to realize that I wanna be a strong woman that can pick up other woman that is so broken, that is so can't achieve anything in life. So my most important heartbeat that I can say is standing hand in hand with the broken woman, hand in hand with the woman that can think they can't do it anymore. They have no value in life anymore. They're just that kind of zero person that you think you're a zero. I give up in life, and I can't do this by myself. I can't do it without this, and I can't do it without that. But and at the end of the day, I can proudly say I love being hand in hand with a broken woman. I love being hand in hand with a broken woman, because Woman2woman was the hand in hand with myself.
What are some of the success stories or positive outcomes you've seen since starting this work?
The success
Highlight
story,
me one.
the success story of being in this process. One lady that it walk apart with this lady. It was one lady that also believed that she can't do it. She went through a lot of abuse. Also, she went emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and she also believed that she can't do it and she can't survive anymore. And I also walk this road with the same way woman walk, the counseling walk apart with me. And today I can proudly say that she did stand up for herself and she did reach out for help. It's important to reach out. For us to get better, we have to reach out for counseling and walk apart. I can truly say she stand up today also as a strong woman, need to be a survivor for kids' sake.
What do you think and what do you believe are the biggest barriers to end gender-based violence in Bishop Lavis and in South Africa as a whole?
I would say the biggest is mental issues. I think the biggest in cases of Bishop Lavis, the biggest barriers is the mental issues of abuse in Bishop Lavis, because if you can abuse mentally, a woman can get breakdown very easily. If you can get abused emotionally, the woman can get breakdown very, very easily. So I think the biggest barriers in Bishop Lavis and in the current
Okay.
areas is mental and emotional abuse.
Thank you very much for your input on this gender violence patient issue. We appreciate the three of you today. How do you ensure that your approach in survivor centered and do no harm?
I think it's important to have think of the confidentiality of the client first and foremost. If you share a story, you can't just share someone's story without confirming it with them. And I think for us, the approach is so important that women needs to know their value. Women needs to know their worth. Some of them are so broken down. So in order for them to become the productive members in society, we need to let them know who they are. And once we let them know who they are, they're able to go for the help. Because even if you tell a victim, go for help, and they don't feel worth, they don't feel
Yes.
value, they don't have the ability to get up. But once you know who you are, once you know you've got value, you immediately have the ability to get
Yes.
up. So I think for me, the importance is to let that woman or the victim know who they are.
I agree with you on that. Looking ahead, what is your vision for a community free from gender-based violence? And what steps do you believe are essential to get there?
I think it's important for us to keep the conversation going. It's important for us to have more awareness within our communities. But the vital point is we need to start within our families. I firmly believe, and Woman2woman firmly believe, if we get the home environment correct, if we start with the family, we build the family, then the community will be better. Our nation will be better. So we've got to go back and restore the family. And I think gender-based violence, especially in the home environment, if we look at the boys get exposed to violence and it becomes normal. And we need to change that narrative within homes. And then we can start winning